What if I told you there's a book so powerful, so dangerous, that it was banned from the Bible itself? A book that dares to reveal the secrets of the heavens, the fall of angels, and the origins of giants who once roamed the earth? This is the story of the Book of Enoch, a forbidden text that holds shocking revelations about our history, our beliefs, and the mysteries of the universe. The Book of Enoch isn't just an ancient manuscript, it's a window into a world that challenges everything we think we know. From celestial visions to apocalyptic prophecies, it's no wonder this book was excluded from the Bible and hidden from the public for centuries. But why? What makes its content so controversial? Today we'll explore its mysterious origins, unravel its incredible stories, and uncover why it remains one of the most debated texts in religious history. Before we begin, if you're fascinated by exploring hidden truths and ancient mysteries, take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us continue to uncover stories like this. Now let's dive into the mysteries of the Book of Enoch. The Book of Enoch isn't just one text, it's a collection of writings, each with its own unique story. Over the centuries, it has been broken down into 3 distinct versions, each named after the language and culture that preserved it: the Ethiopian, Slavic, and Hebrew Enochs. Together, they form a trilogy of mystical and apocalyptic literature that has intrigued scholars and believers alike. But what exactly is this book and where did it come from? The earliest and most complete version, known as the First Book of Enoch, was written in ancient Ethiopia and is still considered sacred by Ethiopian Orthodox Christians today. This version is divided into 5 fascinating sections. The Book of the Watchers, a tale of angels who rebelled and fell to earth. The Book of Parables, introducing a figure called the Son of Man. The Astronomical Book, a cosmic calendar describing the movements of the stars. The Book of Dream Visions, prophecies told through symbolic dreams. The Epistle of Enoch, messages of hope and judgment. The Second Book of Enoch, also known as the Slavonic Enoch, originates from Eastern Europe and delves deeper into Enoch's celestial journey, where he witnesses the structure of the heavens. Meanwhile, the Third Book of Enoch, preserved in Hebrew, portrays Enoch as an angelic figure named Metatron, ascending to a divine status. These versions may differ, but they share a common thread: a man named Enoch, a mysterious figure briefly mentioned in the book of Genesis. Described as someone who walked with God and was taken, Enoch's story in the Bible leaves much to the imagination. But the Book of Enoch fills in the gaps with vivid tales of his divine encounters and cosmic visions. While traditionally attributed to Enoch himself, most scholars agree the texts were likely written much later, during the Hellenistic period, a time of great cultural and religious exchange. Fragments of the book have been discovered among the Dead Sea Scrolls, dating back over 2,000 years. These fragments, written in Aramaic, confirm the book's deep roots in Jewish apocalyptic literature. Despite its widespread influence in early Christianity, the Book of Enoch was eventually excluded from the biblical canon. What? Some say its content was too radical, others suggest its origins were too obscure. Whatever the reason, this exclusion only deepened the mystery surrounding this ancient text. The Book of Enoch, a name that echoes with mystery and intrigue. Yet, this ancient text isn't just one book, it's a collection of writings, preserved in 3 versions, each offering a glimpse into a world of celestial visions and forbidden knowledge. The first and most well-known is the First Book of Enoch, also called the Ethiopian Enoch. It survives in full only in the ancient Guizi language of Ethiopia, where it is still revered as sacred scripture by the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. This version consists of 5 distinct sections. The Book of the Watchers. This section tells of angels, known as Watchers, who descended to earth, taught humanity forbidden secrets, and ultimately caused catastrophic corruption. The Book of Parables. Here we encounter a figure called the Son of Man, a mysterious character who embodies justice and divine judgment. The Astronomical Book, a detailed description of the heavens and a solar calendar that reflects divine order. The Book of Dream Visions, allegorical dreams that recount the past, present, and future, with stunning symbolic imagery. The Epistle of Enoch, a collection of moral teachings and apocalyptic warnings directed at humanity. The Second Book of Enoch, often called the Slavonic Enoch, takes the story even further. This version, preserved in the Slavic language, focuses on Enoch's celestial journeys through the 10 heavens, where he encounters angelic beings and witnesses the structure of the universe itself. The Third Book of Enoch, written in Hebrew, shifts the narrative dramatically. In this version, Enoch transforms into the angel Metatron, a powerful figure in Jewish mysticism. This portrayal elevates Enoch from a prophet to an angelic mediator between God and humanity. But who was Enoch? In the Bible, Enoch is a man of few words but extraordinary significance. Genesis describes him simply as someone who walked with God, and then he was no more because God took him. Unlike other biblical figures, Enoch does not die but is instead taken directly into heaven. It's this brief mention that serves as the foundation for the vast and elaborate tales found in the Book of Enoch. While the Book of Enoch is attributed to the biblical Enoch, historians argue that it was likely written much later, between the 3rd and 1st centuries BCE. This was a time of cultural and religious upheaval, during which Jewish communities were grappling with foreign influences from the Hellenistic and Roman worlds. The book reflects this tension, offering a vision of divine justice and cosmic order in a chaotic time. Fragments of the Book of Enoch were discovered among the Dead Sea Scrolls, written in Aramaic, confirming its ancient origins and popularity among Jewish sects, including the Essenes. These manuscripts date back over 2,000 years, predating the New Testament and providing a critical link between Jewish and Christian apocalyptic literature. In the early centuries of Christianity, the Book of Enoch was highly influential. It is explicitly referenced in the New Testament, particularly in the Epistle of Jude, where the author quotes Enoch's prophecies directly. Church fathers such as Clement of Alexandria and Tertullian spoke of Enoch with reverence, viewing it as a vital text for understanding the mysteries of the faith. But why was it banned? Despite its influence, the Book of Enoch was ultimately excluded from the biblical canon. The reasons are complex and varied. Its apocalyptic nature, the book's vivid descriptions of angelic rebellion and cosmic judgment were seen as too radical for mainstream theology. Its origins, the book's connection to Jewish mysticism and later traditions may have made it unpalatable to early Christian leaders. Power struggles, the process of canonization was as much about politics as it was about theology. Certain texts were excluded not for their content but for their association with groups considered heretical. While the Book of Enoch was rejected by most traditions, it found a lasting home in Ethiopia. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church, one of the oldest Christian communities in the world, has preserved the book for centuries, considering it an integral part of their biblical canon. This unique preservation has allowed the Book of Enoch to survive in its entirety when it might otherwise have been lost to history. Even after being banned, the Book of Enoch refused to disappear. Its themes of divine justice, cosmic order, and human responsibility have continued to resonate through the ages. For some, it is a sacred text, offering hope and guidance. For others, it's a tantalizing mystery, a glimpse into a world of angels, giants, and forbidden knowledge. Let's start at the beginning. What exactly is the Book of Enoch and where does it come from? First, it's not just one book, it's an entire collection of texts. Imagine this. You're holding an anthology filled with forbidden knowledge, celestial visions, and stories that would shape religious thinking for centuries. The version most people refer to today is the first Book of Enoch, also called the Ethiopian Enoch, because it's been preserved in the ancient Guizi language of Ethiopia. In fact, this version is so revered there that it's still considered scripture by the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. Now, the first Book of Enoch is broken into 5 sections, and each one is packed with jaw-dropping revelations. First, we have the Book of the Watchers. This is the part where angels, yes, actual angels, descend to earth, rebel against divine law, and teach forbidden secrets to humanity. Then comes the Book of Parables, introducing a mysterious figure called the Son of Man. We'll come back to him later because he might sound familiar. The third section is the Astronomical Book, where Enoch explains the universe's workings, complete with a divine solar calendar. Next, the Book of Dream Visions, a vivid, almost cinematic retelling of human history, future prophecies, and cosmic battles. And finally, there's the Epistle of Enoch, which is like an open letter to humanity filled with moral lessons and warnings about the end of days. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. There are 2 other versions of Enoch's story. The second Book of Enoch, written in the Slavic tradition, takes us on a journey through the heavens themselves. It's like a divine tour guide, showing Enoch traveling through 10 levels of heaven and meeting angelic beings. Then we have the third Book of Enoch, which goes in an entirely new direction. In this one, Enoch doesn't just visit heaven. He transforms into an angel himself. He becomes Metatron, one of the most powerful celestial beings in Jewish mysticism. It's mind-blowing. Now let's talk about Enoch himself. Who is this guy? If you've read the Bible, you've probably seen his name briefly mentioned in Genesis. He's described as someone who walked with God, and then he was no more because God took him. That's it. No death, no explanation. He's just gone. But the Book of Enoch fills in the gaps with these incredible stories of his life and heavenly adventures. So why was this book written? Most scholars believe it wasn't actually written by Enoch himself. Instead, it's thought to have been compiled between the 3rd and 1st centuries BCE, during a time of upheaval when Jewish communities were struggling under foreign rule. This was a period of intense spiritual searching, and the Book of Enoch offered hope, warnings, and answers to some of life's biggest questions. And here's where it gets interesting. Fragments of the Book of Enoch were discovered among the Dead Sea Scrolls, some of the oldest biblical manuscripts ever found. These pieces, written in Aramaic, prove that the book was widely known and respected in ancient Jewish circles, long before Christianity emerged. Speaking of Christianity, early Christians loved the Book of Enoch. It's even quoted directly in the New Testament. In the Epistle of Jude, there's a passage that's almost a word-for-word copy of a prophecy from Enoch. Church fathers like Clement of Alexandria and Tertullian praised the book for its insights into divine judgment and angelic realms. But here's the twist. Despite its early popularity, the Book of Enoch was eventually banned. The councils deciding the biblical canon left it out. Some say it was because its ideas were too radical, talking about fallen angels, forbidden wisdom, and a level of cosmic storytelling that didn't align with mainstream theology. Others think its ties to Jewish mysticism made it too controversial for early Christian leaders. And yet, the book survived. While most Christian traditions rejected it, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church preserved it. To this day, they treat the Book of Enoch as sacred scripture, a testament to its enduring power. So, what is the Book of Enoch really? Is it a sacred text that reveals divine secrets? Or is it a cautionary tale about the dangers of knowledge? Whatever your view, it's impossible to ignore the impact it's had on religious thought, and the mysteries it still holds. Now, let's talk about one of the most dramatic and controversial parts of the Book of Enoch, the story of the Watchers, a group of angels who fell from grace. This isn't your typical heavenly choir. These angels rebelled against divine order, and their actions changed the course of human history forever. It starts with a group of 200 angels called the Watchers. They were tasked with observing humanity from above, guiding and protecting us. But instead of staying in their place, they made a shocking decision. They descended to earth, drawn by their desire for human women. The leader of the Watchers, an angel named Shemahaza, convinced the others to join him in defying God's will. The Watchers taught humanity forbidden knowledge, things we were never supposed to know. They introduced us to weapons, war, sorcery, and astrology. They unveiled the secrets of the heavens, but at a terrible cost. The result? Chaos. Violence erupted, and humanity began to fall apart. But it didn't stop there. The union between the Watchers and human women produced something even more terrifying: the Nephilim. These were giants, massive, powerful beings that roamed the earth, spreading destruction wherever they went. The Nephilim consumed everything in their path, and their presence corrupted both the earth and humanity. So what did God do? The Book of Enoch describes a divine intervention like no other. God sent 4 of his most powerful archangels, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel, to deal with the crisis. Each had a specific mission. Michael was tasked with imprisoning the rebellious Watchers. Gabriel was sent to destroy the Nephilim. Raphael was instructed to heal the earth from the corruption caused by these fallen beings. And Uriel delivered the divine judgment to the Watchers, sealing their fate. The punishment was severe. The Watchers were bound in chains and cast into a dark abyss, a place of torment where they would await the final judgment. The Nephilim, meanwhile, were wiped out in a massive flood, a catastrophe that would later be echoed in the story of Noah. Amid all this, Enoch becomes more than just an observer. The book portrays him as a mediator between God and the Watchers. Imagine this: a mortal man standing between rebellious angels and the creator of the universe, delivering God's judgment to celestial beings. It's a role that elevates Enoch to a status far beyond that of an ordinary prophet. This story isn't just a tale of rebellion, it's a warning. It speaks to the dangers of forbidden knowledge, the consequences of pride, and the delicate balance between divine order and chaos. And it's no wonder this part of the book became so controversial. It raises big questions. Why were we not meant to have this knowledge? And why were angels capable of such rebellion in the first place? But perhaps the most haunting part of this story is the idea that the Watchers' punishment isn't over. The Book of Enoch hints that these fallen angels will face ultimate judgment at the end of time, a day when their actions will finally be reckoned with. Now, let's step into one of the most fascinating parts of the Book of Enoch, the section known as the Astronomical Book or the Book of Luminaries. Here, Enoch takes us on a journey beyond Earth, offering a glimpse into the workings of the heavens and the divine calendar that governs time itself. Imagine this: Enoch, guided by angels, is taken to observe the universe from a vantage point no human had ever seen. He describes a vast and intricate system where the sun, moon, and stars move according to a precise, divine order. It's not just a poetic vision, it's a detailed explanation of the cosmos, almost like an ancient astronomical textbook. The solar calendar. One of the most revolutionary ideas in the Book of Enoch is its calendar. Unlike the lunisolar calendars used by most ancient cultures, which combine the cycles of the moon and sun, Enoch describes a pure solar calendar of 364 days. This calendar, divided into 12 months of 30 days each, plus additional days to mark the seasons, was seen as a perfect reflection of divine harmony. According to Enoch, this calendar wasn't just practical, it was sacred. It was meant to align humanity's rituals and festivals with the rhythms of the cosmos, ensuring that worship was in sync with God's design. But there's a twist. Enoch's solar calendar directly challenges the traditional lunisolar system, which was seen by some as chaotic and corrupted. This clash over calendars wasn't just a mathematical debate, it symbolized a deeper conflict between divine purity and human error. Enoch doesn't stop with the calendar. He describes the pathways of the sun, the phases of the moon, and the courses of the stars. He explains how the seasons change, how light and darkness balance each other, and how the winds and elements are governed by angelic forces. It's a vision of the universe as a perfectly ordered machine, crafted by divine hands. Religious and cultural impact. This section of the book had profound implications for ancient religious practices. By advocating for the solar calendar, Enoch's text indirectly supports a purer form of worship, free from the influence of foreign traditions that used lunisolar systems. For those who followed the Book of Enoch, adhering to this divine calendar was a way of staying connected to God's original plan. But this idea wasn't universally accepted. The calendar described in the Book of Enoch posed a direct challenge to the religious authorities of the time, who controlled the lunisolar calendar and its associated rituals. By proposing an alternative, Enoch's text effectively undermined their authority, adding yet another reason why the book was eventually banned. Beyond its religious implications, the Astronomical Book raises questions about how ancient people viewed the universe. How did they understand the movements of celestial bodies with such accuracy? Were these observations purely human, or could they, as Enoch claims, have been revealed by divine beings? Even today, the precision of Enoch's descriptions continues to intrigue scholars and spark debate. A divine perspective. Perhaps the most striking aspect of this section is its message. The universe isn't random. It's a carefully designed system, governed by laws that reflect the will of a higher power. For Enoch, understanding these laws wasn't just about knowledge, it was about faith. To follow the divine calendar was to align oneself with the Creator's plan, embracing the order and balance of the cosmos. The Book of Enoch doesn't just describe celestial order or rebellious angels, it ventures into the future, painting vivid and unsettling visions of what's to come. These prophecies, found throughout the book, explore themes of divine justice, redemption, and the ultimate fate of humanity. One of the most striking parts of the book is Enoch's journey beyond the mortal world. Guided by angels, he visits realms of unimaginable beauty and terrifying judgment. He sees the destiny of the righteous, those who live in harmony with God's will, and the eternal punishment awaiting the wicked. These descriptions aren't just symbolic, they're detailed and visceral. Enoch speaks of a paradise where the faithful dwell in peace, bathed in divine light. But he also describes places of torment, where sinners are consumed by unending fire, punished for their defiance of divine law. Sound familiar? It should. These ideas heavily influenced later Christian concepts of heaven and hell. The Son of Man. In the Book of Parables, Enoch introduces a mysterious figure called the Son of Man. This being is portrayed as a divine judge, chosen to deliver justice at the end of days. What makes this so fascinating is the parallel many scholars draw between the Son of Man and Jesus Christ. But here's the twist. In the Book of Enoch, the Son of Man isn't a separate figure. He is identified as Enoch himself, elevated to a divine role. This portrayal of Enoch as both human and celestial is groundbreaking. It blurs the lines between mortal and divine, challenging traditional ideas about humanity's place in the cosmos. Central to Enoch's prophecies is the concept of the Great Judgment, a moment when God will intervene to restore balance to the universe. In Enoch's vision, the wicked are cast down, the righteous are exalted, and the earth is renewed. This apocalyptic narrative is filled with dramatic imagery, mountains melting, stars falling from the sky, and the earth trembling under the weight of divine wrath. But it's not just a story of destruction. The Great Judgment also represents hope, a promise that evil will not go unpunished and that the faithful will be vindicated. For the oppressed communities who cherished this book, these prophecies offered comfort and reassurance. A new heaven and a new earth. One of the most poetic aspects of Enoch's apocalyptic vision is the idea of a renewed creation. After the judgment, the earth is cleansed of corruption, and a new, perfect world emerges. It's a vision of restoration, where humanity is finally in harmony with the divine. a style that shaped generations. The apocalyptic style of the Book of Enoch is unforgettable. Its use of vivid imagery, fire, angels, cosmic upheavals, creates a sense of awe and urgency. This style was so influential that it left its mark on later biblical texts, like the Book of Daniel and the Book of Revelation. You can see Enoch's fingerprints in every fiery vision of the end times. Even today, the themes of Enoch's prophecies resonate. The idea of divine justice, the hope of redemption, and the promise of a better world are timeless. They speak to our deepest fears and our greatest hopes, reminding us of the eternal struggle between good and evil. After everything we've explored, one question remains. Why was the Book of Enoch banned? What made this text so dangerous that it was deliberately excluded from the Bible? The answer lies in its radical content. The Book of Enoch doesn't just tell stories, it challenges authority. It presents a world where angels rebel, forbidden knowledge corrupts, and humanity must face divine judgment. These themes were far too provocative for early religious leaders who sought to establish a unified, controlled theology. When the biblical canon was being decided, the Book of Enoch didn't make the cut. Some say it was because of its apocalyptic tone, too extreme, too fantastical. Others point to its connection to Jewish mysticism, which clashed with the emerging doctrines of early Christianity. And then there's the issue of power. Including a text like Enoch would have disrupted the carefully curated narrative of the Bible, threatening the authority of those in charge. Yet, in Ethiopia the story was different. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church embraced the Book of Enoch as sacred scripture. For them, it wasn't a forbidden text. It was a vital part of their spiritual heritage. This unique preservation is why we even know about the book today. But the Book of Enoch didn't vanish. Its themes of justice, hope, and cosmic mystery have echoed through the ages. Its influence is visible in texts like the Book of Revelation and in the enduring fascination with angels, giants, and apocalyptic visions. More than that, it challenges us to think deeply about the nature of knowledge, the balance between good and evil, and humanity's place in the universe. Perhaps that's what makes it truly dangerous, not the stories it tells but the questions it forces us to ask. So, was the Book of Enoch banned because it was heretical? Or was it silenced because it dared to reveal too much? Either way, it remains one of the most enigmatic and thought-provoking texts in history. If this story captivated you, don't forget to like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more deep dives into the mysteries of our past. Who knows what other hidden truths are waiting to be uncovered?